Denny Hamlin looked trapped at Nashville. His own teammates were closing in, his tires were fading, and one mistake could have handed the race away. Christopher Bell wanted the win. Chase Briscoe was right there too. Then Hamlin turned the final laps into a fight nobody at Gibbs Racing could look away from. What happened at the line changed the whole mood of his 2026 season. Denny Hamlin did not win Nashville with a calm Sunday drive. He had to survive a late battle against two drivers from his own team, and that made the finish feel much bigger than a normal Cup Series victory. Christopher Bell crossed the line just 0.115 seconds behind him. Chase Briscoe finished third. That gave Gibbs Racing a full top 3 sweep, with the number 11, number 20, and number 19 Toyotas all stacked at the front. For Hamlin, the result carried extra weight. It was his 62nd career Cup win, his second victory of 2026, and his first at Nashville Superspeedway. But the stat sheet does not fully explain why this one hit so hard. This was not Hamlin beating a random challenger from another garage. This was Hamlin holding off his own teammates, in equal team equipment, with the race tightening at the worst possible time. That is why Nashville felt brutal. It was not just about speed. It was about pressure, timing, trust, and a veteran driver refusing to let the next generation inside his own building take the trophy from him. Hamlin's 2026 season already had meaning before Nashville. He had won earlier in the year, and he was still sitting inside the Cup Series conversation as one of the sport's most dangerous veterans. But Hamlin is never judged like a normal driver. He is judged by a harsher standard because of the number beside his name. 60-plus Cup wins. Years of playoff runs, years of near misses, years of being one of the best drivers never to win a Cup championship. That makes every Hamlin win feel like two stories at once. The first story is simple. He is still elite. The second is heavier. Can this finally become the year? Nashville fed both stories. It showed speed, control, and nerve. It also reminded everyone that Hamlin's window is still open, but it is not endless. Every win now feels like it carries extra weight. That is why this race mattered. It was not another trophy. It was a veteran telling the field that he is still taking chances from drivers who think their time has already arrived. The late battle became so tense because the cars chasing Hamlin were not random threats. Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe are part of the same Gibbs Racing machine, and both had reasons to attack. Bell is one of the cleanest and most dangerous drivers in the garage when the car is right. He has dirt track skill, short track skill, and the patience to wait for one mistake. If Hamlin slid too high, blocked too late, or missed one corner, Bell was close enough to punish him. Briscoe brought a different kind of pressure. He is still building his JGR identity, and a third-place finish behind two teammates still matters. He was not there to play bodyguard. He was there to prove he belongs in a team that expects wins, not just solid days that made the finish hard. JGR wanted the win, but each driver wanted it for himself. Nobody wants to wreck a teammate, but nobody wants to hand him the race either. In those final laps, Hamlin had to manage more than speed. He had to manage lanes, mirrors, throttle, and trust. Too much defense, and Bell could time a run. Too much kindness, and the win could disappear. Hamlin did exactly what veterans do. He made the car just wide enough, just stable enough, and just clean enough to keep the lead. Nashville Superspeedway is not easy to master because it punishes small mistakes over a long run. The concrete surface has its own feel. Tires matter. Track position matters. Restarts can reset the whole race. A driver can look safe, then suddenly lose the rhythm when traffic changes around him. Drivers need commitment into the corner, but they also need patience off it. If the car gets tight, the wall feels closer. If it gets loose, the next lap becomes a fight. Hamlin's strength has always been reading a race. He may not always have the loudest car early, but he understands how a race can come back to him. At Nashville, that skill mattered. The finish looked sudden, but the win was built through every stage, every call, and every lap where he stayed close enough to matter. By the end, he had the track position and the nerve to use it. The team story may be the biggest part of this race. A JGR 1-2-3 finish is not just a nice stat. It is a signal to the rest of the garage Toyota needed a statement. Gibbs Racing gave one. Hamlin, Bell, and Briscoe finishing in the top 3 says the organization had speed across more than one car. That scares other teams. One fast driver can be a hot setup. 3 fast drivers from the same group can mean the whole notebook is working. Team depth wins long seasons. If JGR can bring cars that strong to Nashville, then Hendrick, Penske, RFK, Trackhouse, and everyone else has to pay attention. But there is also tension inside that strength. When one team has 3 cars fighting for the same win, the garage notices how they race each other. If it stays clean, the team looks powerful. If it gets messy, the team has problems. At Nashville, JGR got the perfect version. They fought hard, stayed clean, and swept the podium. That is the kind of day owners dream about and rivals hate. It does not mean JGR owns the season. It does mean the rest of the field cannot treat Hamlin's win as a one-car moment. Hamlin's career number matters here. 62 Cup wins puts him deeper into NASCAR history. It is the kind of total only great drivers reach. Every win after 60 adds to a resume that was already Hall of Fame level. But Hamlin's story has always carried one missing piece: the championship. That is why fans argue about him so much. Some respect the wins and the longevity. Others keep pointing to the trophy he has not held. Nashville does not solve that argument. A regular season win cannot erase years of playoff pain. But it can change the feeling around a season. Wins build playoff points. Wins build confidence. Wins remind the garage that Hamlin is not just hanging around. That is important because Hamlin's biggest problem has never been proving he can win races. He has proved that for 2 decades. The problem is turning a strong season into the final complete run. Nashville adds fuel to that chase. It gives him another win, another track crossed off, and another reason to believe the number 11 team can still handle pressure. The honest part is this: Nashville was a big win, but it should not be treated like proof that Hamlin is suddenly the championship favorite. NASCAR seasons are too long and too strange for that. One week can make a team look perfect. The next week can expose them. A fast Toyota at Nashville does not mean the same package will dominate everywhere. Short tracks, road courses, superspeedways, intermediates, and playoff pressure all ask different questions. There is also the Hamlin factor. His regular season strength has never been the issue. He has built many years that looked good enough to become championship years. The playoffs have usually been where something went wrong. A bad pit stop, a mistimed caution, a flat race, a rival getting hot at the wrong time. Nashville was impressive, showing Denny Hamlin and Gibbs Racing have speed. But the bigger test comes later when the rounds tighten and one mistake erases months of work. That is what makes the win feel serious. The question now is what Nashville does to Hamlin's 2026. A win changes how a team carries itself, building trust among the driver, crew chief, and pit crew. It also changes how rivals race him. Nobody treats him like a fading driver. They treat him like a threat with playoff teeth, altering late race restarts and pit strategy.